You want to sell on Amazon, but you're stuck without a product idea that will give you confidence. You've watched 100 different ways to do product research on YouTube and you're still confused. You've seen videos about finding products that do 50K a month, 80K a month, or maybe even 100K per month. But you need something that actually works with your circumstances. Now, I've helped hundreds of people start selling on Amazon and they've gone on to make tens of millions of pounds. But out of all of the strategies that are out there, most of them just use one. And what I'm about to show you is the most successful strategy I've seen in the past 6 years of doing this. Before trying this strategy, you need to understand some of the foundations first, because without them, it is just not going to work. Step number one is having a customer-centric approach. You currently have one hat, and that's the business owner hat. It's telling you to make profit and get ROI, but this hat isn't useful when you're thinking about the customer. Before you start analyzing ROI, you need to get into the customer's shoes, or in this case, their hat. So put on the customer hat and look at everything from their perspective. So here's an example. You want to open up a burger restaurant. Let me put back my business hat on. And you think to yourself, who are my competitors? With the business owner hat, you write down Burger King, Five Guys, McFluffy Meals, Grilled R Us, and you've got a good list of competitors. But now you put on the customer hat and think, if I was hungry, what options would I have? You might say Tesco's meal deal, buy ingredients and cook, go to a friend's house, Pret. So whilst the business owner perspective is relevant, it's not the full story. To understand the full story, you need to think like a customer. Step number two, the creativity killer. Yes, numbers are important, but following on from point one, they are not the be all and end all of everything. Not everything can be number crunched. So don't look at numbers as the only answer to your problem. For example, you probably watched a video. It says you have to have between 30 and 50 sales per day with no more than 100 reviews and a profit margin at exactly 34%. And the weight has to be 0.3 kilograms. And this approach is going to kill your creativity. Instead, think if there is demand, there could be opportunity. If the product is heavy, it's a problem that you can work with. If there's more than 100 reviews, that's just saying that there's more than 100 reviews. It doesn't tell you the quality of those reviews. Numbers are the tip of the iceberg, but you need to be looking below the waterline. The last part of your foundations is the echo chamber. If you nail steps 1 and 2 and you don't do number 3, you're screwed. Because when you're close to actually finally getting set up and you found a good product, you want to keep it a secret. But this means that the only feedback you get is your own. And that is not helpful. If you think it's great, you're going to tell yourself it's great. But if it's not, no one's around to tell you. And then customers will tell you when they buy the product and leave bad reviews. You don't want the first time hearing about it to be when it's too late. You're going to want feedback on your branding, your marketing, and your product offer. And this is so you can adapt as you create. You can work out the kinks before your product is on Amazon and actually before you've even ordered the product. Now you've had your starters, let's move on to the main course. Now, there are only 2 steps, so it's not going to take long to go through this. Number 1 is you're going to find products that have demand. Now to do this, you're going to need a tool to pull the sales data from Amazon. I use Helium 10's Chrome extension and I'm going to smash a 20% discount code in the description. Load up Amazon, find a product with high demand. Jonny, I've got no idea how to do that. Now you could use research tools to help you here, but I find them mind-numbingly boring and repetitive. I found the best way is just noodling around. You can start by looking for products you've already purchased on Amazon and then see how those products are doing using the Chrome extension. You may not find anything straight away, but it'll definitely get you started. Once you've got the hang of how to find the data, you can try something like this. On Amazon, you can filter into different categories. I suggest diving into these, and once you're in there, you can start looking at sellers' stores or other areas. And you can scroll through these and try to find products, click on some of them and just see how much in sales they're making. On the categories here, I'm going to choose baby products. There might be some really great products on here once you delve in a little bit deeper. So look, there's a digital thermometer, water thermometer. So do you know what? I'm just going to head to the top and type in baby water thermometer, right? So we've got all of these products. I didn't even know these were a thing. I'm going to hit the Helium 10 Chrome extension. I'm just going to find out if there's any sales or if there's any demand for the product whatsoever. Because at this stage, I don't know. There's a little bit of demand for this product, so I'm just going to note it down on a piece of paper and then I'm going to keep searching and come back to it later. Hang on, Jonny, what do you mean by it has demand? I'm glad you've asked. Demand is measured in 2 ways. Searches and sales. For today, we're just going to be looking at searches so that we know customers have bought the products. But later on, you'll learn how to back up your findings with search data as well. to make sure that people are searching and buying, because searching plus sales equals demand. Let's have a look at something that has killer sales. The way I found this product was looking through my previous purchases, and that's because I'm happy to say my partner will need one of these very, very soon. So I jumped on Amazon to do so. It'd be a good idea to find out how much money they make. So I'm going to open up the Chrome extension again. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of the sponsored results because they're paying to be there. I want to see all organic results. So you can see here there's a bunch of sellers. You can see their sales price, how many sales they're making per month. You can see the rough amount of revenue they're generating from those sales. You can see more information like their fees, the review count. When we're looking at demand, we're looking for 3 areas. The first area is the top, and that's where you have a couple sellers or 2, 3 sellers, or maybe even 1 seller that are doing really, really well. In this instance, it's this company that's doing £118,000, £120,000 per month in sales from a pregnancy pillow. We've then got another one that's doing around 50,000. These are incredibly good results. If we look at the creation date on the right-hand side, you can see one of them's been around since 2018. So they've got a lot of history with Amazon. They have an aged listing, and this one's been around since 2020. So this one here is nearly 3 years old. This one's a little bit longer. So let's look for something that's been around not as long. So if we look at that, that is the 23rd of January this year, and it's only the 6th of March when I'm recording this video. If we have a look, they're doing around £9,500, £10,000 in sales per month. They've created potentially what will be a 6-figure business. They only created the listing for this product near the end of January. It doesn't necessarily mean they started selling then. Most likely they might have been selling a little bit after that point. And already they've got to the point where they're doing nearly £10,000 in sales. This shows me there's a potential opportunity to stand out. After we've seen there's a few sellers that are doing well, we want to see the middle of the pack, which I would say is these guys here that are doing around the same sorts of figures, but they're going to be a little bit lower than the top sellers. Then towards the bottom of the ladder, you've got the people doing, let's say, under 10,000. So the 2s, the 6s, the 7s, all that sort of stuff. Over the course of 12 months, you climb the ladder to compete with the sellers at the different levels. Now, the definition of good demand depends on your own individual circumstances. So this example could require a little bit more money because of the selling price and the demand and the size of the product. At this stage, I want you to focus on the product idea, not the seller or the listing. That's because we're not in data analyzing mode, we're just in collection mode at the moment. Once you've found one product, just quickly move on to the next one so you can use the power of comparison. You'll likely find another product and you'll go, oh, this one doesn't have as much demand as the last one. I want you to stop there. The beginner will think the first one is better because it has more demand, and that is incorrect. The first product may have more sales, but the second product could have a better opportunity for long-term success. Take note of both and keep going. Do this until you have a small handful of ideas for now. Then on to step 2, the final step. This is finding the opportunity. Many fail because they go from step 1 and then immediately onto sourcing the product and finding a supplier, but they haven't actually found the opportunity in the market yet. This is where you're going to waste a huge amount of time. Those people don't know that while product 1 sells well, product 2 is actually better. You find an opportunity to stand out within these 3 areas: product offer, marketing, and branding. We've seen that if you do this, you're more likely onto a better idea, and you'll have a clear direct path about how to move forward. You're going to know what your product needs to do, how it should look, and how it should make a customer feel. It sounds complex, but this document makes it super easy. I call this document the Product Opportunity Database, or in this case, the Simplified Product Opportunity Database, because I've taken a few things out. What I'm going to do is just input the data from Amazon. We're going to look at the top 10 competitors. So I'm going to put in the ASINs, the links, the amount of monthly revenue, the selling price, and all their key data. And then I'm going to start breaking down the opportunity. To find the opportunity, I would just fill this database out, and then the answers just come to you. For example, I would note down the negative review opportunities and the positive review opportunities. I would go through the competitors and just write down the keywords or phrases and how many times they're mentioned, the key themes, and then what I'm going to do to combat that. These key actions are going to form the basis of what you're going to do and how you're going to develop your product going forward. Now, there is a way to help AI do this for you, so check out this video if you want to know how to do that. People thought the product was smaller than expected, so that is a theme of size expectation. The action: be extremely clear and show examples to make it easy to understand. On the flip side, on the positive side, people said perfect fit, and that was really really important to them. So not only is it important to overcome potential issues that your product will have, those issues could also be reasons why people love your product. We know that customers want to get away from pain and towards pleasure, so we can write down potential customer needs where they're going away from pain. Like in reviews, they say they didn't want to spend a lot of money to get the result. Then using this data that's in front of you, you can put it into your key takeaways and then the related actions that you need to take going forward. You can then go into the product opportunity and literally just write down what your competitors are doing. Write down their brand names, what their solution looks like, and then you can put in some key categories and just compare them. So the size, the wattage, if there's a sound, the color, if it has a handle, detachable base, does it have branded packaging? Just note down the different features that the different products have. You'll then be able to see the common themes and the things that stand out. For example, on this one, branded packaging, none of them had branded packaging. That is an opportunity where you can stand out. We then go on to the hero images. So you can literally paste in the hero image of all of your competitors and just think, do they have a box? What color is it? Are there accessories included in the picture? Which way is the product facing? And if you want to add more, just add more categories. And then all you do is just count the number of times things came up. 5 out of the 10 we looked at were against terms of service. These are all things that you can analyze and find the opportunity within. For example, no box, have a branded box and show in the hero image. Unrealistic sizes, make sure everything is realistic in proportion. Showing variations, a lot had 2 colors but they were only showing 1 on the image. Show your variations on your hero image. Against terms of service, make sure they're within. Go into branding opportunity, you can write down all the brand names and get your perception of what you feel when you look at them. Are there any pros, are there any cons, and again, what are your key takeaways and what are the actions that you're going to do to make sure that you stand out with your branding. Once you've filled out a document like this, you have all of your key takeaways and all of your action points. These are the basis of how you're going to form your product, your marketing, and your branding, and what you need to research further to make those decisions. And if you do all of that and you're not happy with the outcome, that's fine. Just move on to the next product and hope that it's got a better opportunity. Each time you're going to get better and better at assessing the products, you'll get quicker at doing it, and it will be easier for you to find the opportunity. Once you have the opportunity and have seen it's a viable option from the customer's perspective, it's time to see if it makes financial sense. That's for another video, but if you want to keep learning more, check out this video, which you may find valuable. I've got loads of tutorials and more coming up all the time. Subscribe to get updated when the knowledge drops. I'm Jonny Bradley, and remember, you're just one product away.